Hi, this is International Master of Squareology. In this Chess.com lesson, I'm going to be talking about unprotected pieces. FIDE master and chess coach Emmanuel Neyman came up with 7 signals that let you know when to look for tactics. The second signal is unprotected pieces. Both of these examples come from the 2013 Tromsø Chess World Cup. This position comes from the classical game between Anna Ushanina and Peter Svidler. Black's king position is weak, and he has an unprotected piece on e5. Not only that, but the e6 pawn is not that well protected. Alright, so Anna improves the bishop because the bishop wasn't doing anything on f3. It's just like hitting a wall. The bishop on f3 reminds me of a kid in middle school. When we would be playing dodgeball or sports in the gymnasium, he would scream out from the sidelines, "Look both ways before you hit the wall!" Nobody ever hit the wall, but he would scream that. And that bishop on f3 reminds me of that kid. So that's not really a good thing. That's why Anna improves the bishop by playing it back to e2. Now if black takes on e2, white picks up a pawn. Queen e6 followed by Queen e5. And white's going to be up a pawn. White's going to have a pass pawn, and black's king position is still going to be weak. That's why Svidler didn't take on e2. He played rook f7. Now Anna places the queen on c6, which is great because she's still hitting e6 and she's threatening bishop c4, which forks the queen and the pawn. Svidler plays bishop d4 to attack f2. He's just mounting up pressure on the f2 pawn. White forks black's queen and the pawn on e6. And here, he plays rook f2. His idea is this. Bishop a2, taking the queen, and now rook c2. A discovered check. The king moves, let's say king h1, and then black recovers the material. And black's doing really well here. Black's up a pawn, and he has an outside passer. That's what he was thinking would happen, but it wasn't correct. If we go back, white has a very easy tactic to win the game. Based on the formula. This is like a formula. It's very common. Don't underestimate it, even though it's really simple. The formula is 2 plus 2 equals 5. Nah, not really. But that is that's an important formula to know in life. Actually, it's not really a formula. It's just like an idea, a very profound idea. But that's not it. The real formula is exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. So let me say that again for you. Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. Alright? Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. I'm saying that 3 times so that you'll really remember it because it's really important. If black plays king h8, then queen g8 is checkmate. And if king f8, white could at least do the very same thing that she did in the game. Use the same idea. Svidler played king h7, and now the move. White to play and win. Pause the video, try to find it. Ready? Queen d7. Now when he uncovers the bishop, it doesn't do anything. He's not going to win the queen because Anna can just take on d4. And white is up a piece. White combined the signal of weak king position with the signal of unprotected piece. Remember the formula. Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. So let's take a look at this formula in action. This position comes from the classical game between Marcus Rager and Ivan Popov. Black is up a piece temporarily, but his king is exposed. He's got weak king position, and the bishop on e4 is not that well protected. Pause the video and find the best move for white. Ready? Bishop d7. And white's going to win the piece back no matter what. For example, rook d7, rook f8, and now it's checkmate. Queen g8, checkmate. So he can't do that. Let's see what happens if he takes with the queen. Rook f8, rook f8, and now we have to be careful. We don't want to get checkmated. If we play rook e4 and take the bishop, then we do get checkmated. We can block, but it won't save our king. But we don't have to do that. We can play queen e5. Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. And then we'll take the bishop, for example. Queen g7. We can exchange and go into a winning endgame. And this is winning for white because he's got connected passed pawns. Notice that black doesn't have any passed pawn at all. So let's go back and see what happened in the game. Black took on f1. White took back with his rook. And if black plays rook d7, he gets checkmated. Queen g8, checkmate. So he has to take back with the queen. And now white can pick up the piece. Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. Black cannot take the pawn on c3. Why not? Because of the formula we've already learned. Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals fork. And black loses the rook. That's why in the game he played rook f8. And white eventually won. In this Chess.com lesson on unprotected pieces, we looked at the second signal that will let you know when you should be looking for tactics. We looked at a simple but important formula. I know I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Exposed king plus unprotected piece equals spork. Understand this. Signals can and should be combined. Be sure to follow me on Twitter @Squareology. Bye guys.